Think we're on. Yo, what's up, dude? We were supposed to record tonight, but sometimes life just catches up. So, decided to paint. I got a ton of fucking models to paint. Dang, edition change. Yep. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So, I had the Terminators from before, but what I like is you can have a couple lightning claws and it's 5 less points. So most of my hammer lists are at like 140, which is pretty cool. Maybe let me check right now. I'm playing this tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm at 345 points, and that's with 3 lightning claws. Isn't bad. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, what do you mean, man? What's up, Chaos? Yep, got the box set as well. So I had this dude from before, and then I got this guy I'd like to knock out, and then worked on the speeder. This thing's freaking awesome. I played with it as a proxy. Dude, such a cool unit. For 95 points, it's freaking badass. Let me try to fix this. Fix this thing. So I can look at just one screen. Nope, not that. Yeah, we'll do this. What's my first apocalypse on Saturday? Hell yeah, man. Dude, Gapester, welcome back, man. Thanks, dude. Yeah, you'll see how I highlight them a little bit later. Super simple, man. It's just so I used 3 colors. So it's the iron crust, and that's what's on there right now. And then I will dust the feet with iron earth, and then I'll highlight with Lugganath orange. I made a short about it. You can find it. Yeah, that's how I do the Terminators. Hey, what's up, James? Trying to fix this dang camera angle and stuff. Why can't I? The chat on top of painting. Sorry, I just got a new laptop. Setting all this shit up. Pain in the ass. I got home from work at like 2 today, and Derek switched locations, so he can't stream as much on Mondays. So I decided to set it up at my apartment to stream there. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to fix this so I can see everything on the screen right in front of me. All right, that's good. Played 3.5 games on Saturday. Tried out my warp strike. How'd that go? 30 termies is the money spot. Let me know how that goes. Contrast is really good. Yeah, thanks, man. All right, cool. Yeah, so tonight the goal is I'm saving this for my painting head series. This will be the experimental one. Also, I did sub-assembly this guy. So that's how I would do something like that. But for right now, tonight, I just want to do it's my least favorite part of painting. So it's just base coating and getting them tabletop ready. So I'm just getting my blues on. Silvers, blues, maybe some reds. But I got these 10 Stern Guard. They're base, but I got to get them table ready. Dude, the Stern Guard with the other librarian dude are freaking sick. I think most Space Marine players are going to be playing that combo right now. I want to start streaming my own channel, but I have no idea where to start. Well, Justin, I can tell you this. I just started streaming a couple weeks ago. Dude, you just got to do it. Derek's been doing it for a while. And that was something cool too. It's like one of my favorite things about like friends groups and just growing up with dudes and stuff is like watching your friends evolve and then, feeling like what they're good at. And dude, when I started doing all this, I definitely appreciated the work like Derek puts in for his stuff. He's really savvy with this shit. It's definitely been like a huge learning curve for me. But honestly, man, like hit us up anytime, ask questions. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on like setting up OBS, the stupid fucking cameras. Um, that's honestly a giant pain in the butt. Is like where like my setup right now is all fucked up. You can't see it. But it's a disaster. Like I said, just got this new laptop and then wasn't supposed to stream tonight, but I was like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. So another piece of good advice I have is I was listening to my buddy on his channel today when I was driving to work. We had him on the podcast a couple months ago. He was a kid from my platoon, Steve Travis, and when he got out, he started his hobby was Pokemon cards. Dude, he just made $1 million like last month. And dude, he's just been crushing it with his hobby, but his wife is in labor tonight. But anyway, I was watching his videos and he was talking about just mindset in general for like what he was doing. And the one thing that he said that I've been thinking about all day was just like you have to ignore literally what anyone says. In terms of like negative shit, man. Like you put yourself out there, you're definitely going to get negative criticism like no matter what you do, man. And you just have to literally fucking ignore that shit. Laugh it off. Uh if you want to be witty and respond, then do that, but like which I thought was interesting. Like I was trying to I don't think I've ever negatively commented on the internet fucking ever. So it's like I had to kind of take a step back and be like, what is the psychological profile of a man who is sitting somewhere doing something, watches something he doesn't like and be like, I need to fucking say something right now instead of just like swiping away, you know? Interesting. Warp Strike was good, but CSM does kind of want purge, Oblitz, and I'll be honest, man, I've been out of the CSM game for the last dang, almost a year. Played against them a lot in the last teams tournament. They're fucking good right now. What primers do you recommend? Dude, I need to get into airbrushing. We just got a new guy on the team, Kyle, and he is really good with an airbrush. So he's going to do an airbrush intro series. I'm definitely going to watch it too. But I just use the GW Chaos Black most of the time. I'll use gray sheer sometimes. And then sometimes I'll use like for the big vehicles, I'll use the lead belcher. But I'd like to get into airbrushing. I feel like that's like the next level of painting skills for me. Play hammers, I'd like one more dread. I'm kind of off dreads right now with Hammer of Averni. I got this list cooked up for tomorrow morning because I don't go to work until like 5. So one of the other guys, Frank, he's been on World Eaters. He's coming over at like 10. I'd like to stream that tomorrow, but it depends on if my microphones come in on time. I like rush ordered everything. I wasn't planning on it, but today at work I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I built like the camera setup, the camera cage with like PVC pipe and stuff. So hopefully we can stream that tomorrow. I'm not everyone's favorite in the world. Dude, you just gotta ignore that shit. I was recon guard for a while, but now I'm doing elite armies. Man, I tell you what, going from hey, what's up, Pete? Going from recon guard to elite armies, man, I'm interested to see that transition for you. I've played them a couple times. I played Nemo at LVO when he first kind of hit the scene. That was insane. Although his army was sick, it was all Halo themed. So it's like if you knew what the Halo IP is, like then it was easy to identify the units. But yeah, and then I played Recon Guard again at the teams tournament for like our last 10th edition, like hurrah, and I got my shit totally fucking pushed in. Definitely took one for the team on that one. Squidmar does a good on airbrushing. Yeah, that dude, that guy's really good. GW black, white is yeah, the white's not good. Really? I like the black army painter. I didn't like the army painter one. I use gray sheer, wraith brown for 90% of paint. Yeah, that's fair, dude. I have so many metal guard. So my army weighs like 35 pounds. That's funny. Do that. What was your Pokemon buddy's channel? Oh, tactical trading. Yeah, he's dude, he's killing it right now, man. And he's doing that as a hobby, dude. And in his videos, he's fully transparent. He'll explain, he'll tell you everything. Really, really awesome kid, man. It's been cool watching him grow up. I met that kid when he was 19. He was a young kid in my platoon, took him on deployment. And yeah, dude, he's freaking killing life right now. He works in the construction like sales realm. He does the Pokemon stuff on the side. If you check out our podcast, Dudes Need Hobbies, that's him. And yeah, he goes over how he got into it and all that stuff. I thought it was a great episode. Didn't do very well though, but that was fun. I like Army Painter because they're what? With the dropper bottles, easy if you fuck it up. Dude, I think all bottles suck. I'm currently painting terrain for the store in Woodstock. Oh, really? Dude, I lived in Marietta for a while. I tried selling comic books before COVID, but didn't really succeed. Comic books is I think that's a harder thing um than Pokemon. There's actually a really awesome comic book store here near Philly called Showcase. I was like taking the kids there. Um, that's a cool store. I live in Marietta now. Nice, dude. Yeah, dude, I love the South. I lived there for a while. This was like 2009 to like 20. No, it was like 2007 to 2009. Yeah, I think I was there for like 2 years. But my kids are up here. Ex-wife is up here, so I'm stuck in Jersey for a while. Showcase is a great store. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. All right, so I'm thinking for this librarian, I'm gonna try to do the whole make all the letters glow and shit. That's the goal at least. But I wanted to test it out on the Terminator librarian just because it's a bigger model before I try it on the smaller dude. But yeah, I'm gonna have to thin down white. I don't have any. I haven't gotten an oil painting, but I'll have to thin down white. I think I'll use a zero brush, get it in there as well as I can. Then I think I'm gonna do hot pink for the glow because that's the color I've been using for the eyes. I think that'll look cool. Doctor Doctor Nose. Uh, dude, you're gonna have to bump my memory, man. I hang out at Titan and Smyrna a lot. Yeah. Um, yeah, I hung out in Smyrna quite a bit. This was like almost 10 years ago, though. Goon oil enamel washes works well for the glow effect. Yeah, agreed. I know it does. I call him my painting dad. His name is Frank from Adventure Games. We up in Scranton, we go to the Fight Before Christmas GT every year in December. Um, he told me to get my first painting book and then get into oil paints. But honestly, man, like with the starting a new army a couple months ago, plus, the addition, I've just been like cranking models out. I think that's all the blue I'm gonna do on this guy. Yeah, I've watched the videos on how to do it. I just, to be honest, the last couple months or so between like moving into my new apartment and then getting this shit all set up and then getting a new laptop, getting that all set up, plus work, plus trying to get games in, uh plus my middle son, his the high school lacrosse season just ended and then we went straight into the club lacrosse season, but uh dude, it's all 2-day tournaments. So I was in Delaware all weekend, watching him play, which is fine, but it does suck when it's an hour away. It's like an RTT essentially. No, it's more like a GT because they played 5 rounds. I think they ended up like fourth. Think about selling all my unpainted orcs and demons, starting a new army, kind of like Votans, since they look easy in the range. Yeah, man. I sold a bunch of my first, like my first army after I essentially repainted them. After I read the Black Legion books, I was like, dude, everyone is Black Legion now. And anything that was too much of a pain in the ass to like strip or I just couldn't reprime, I just sold all of them. There's this local store near me that'll take old models and give you store credit. Then I just bought Space Marines with it. Nice, dude. Do you work in the summer or you take off? The dude who's coming over tomorrow, he's a teacher. Actually, he's a teacher at the high school I went to. What are you guys thinking about 11th so far? I think it's friggin' awesome. It was nice to get the Armageddon set and then get all the secondary cards. But I tell you what, the game has definitely changed a lot, and I think it's awesome. More orcs, yeah, dude. Orcs are super strong right now. I tried selling a 2K points Knight Army to Frontline Gaming, and yeah, no way, dude. I do side gigs, lift, roped into the terrain project. Yeah, but dude, that's good for the store and stuff, man. It's good to support your store. Usually, well, actually, the main store that we all play at, someone finally got smart. Was like, dude, let's 3D print shit. But in ninth edition and then early 10th, man, we were painting all that shit by hand, dude. Pain in the ass. But I mean, we just get the guys together, hang out on a Saturday, drink beer, and fucking paint terrain. Love Terminators in 11th. Close combat is really fun. Oh, I mean, dude, close combat is always fun, dude. Just got on Warhammer this past January. Hell yeah, welcome to the hobby, dude. Uh, oh, awesome, dude. I appreciate it. I tell you what, Derek's been on a fucking rampage with the videos. just been, I feel bad. I've just been slammed. Although, so I had this idea the other day. Actually, while I was playing my friend Frank, the dudes that is coming over tomorrow, and I'm going to make a. So I'm gonna play each disposition, but I'm gonna do like a live planning video for how I um like plan my games and stuff. So I mean, if you think about it, if you play one disposition, you need to be prepared for 5 different missions on up to, at 3 different layouts each. So that's essentially 15 missions. And so I'm going to break down like how I prepare for all of that. In terms of the secondaries, your deployment, and then turn one going first or going second. So essentially, the way it's helped me play the game is if I have all that planned out prior to a tournament, then I mean essentially half the game is already done for me. I know where I'm deploying. I know where I'm going turn one, going first or second, and which that sets up, your turn two actions. So you're really only making like in-game decisions um during infiltrate, right? If your opponent has infiltrate, then you have like the little infiltrate game within a game. And then after that, you're only really making decisions turns 3 through 5. That so that really helps with time. Um, but then again, the main thing is like you need to know what the primary is and you need to know what the secondaries are. Because it sucks missing out on secondaries simply because you deployed poorly or it's a new addition. You just didn't know what they were. I wish you could just choose your disposition mission. I was thinking about that. I think that's how they're going to shake up the game. That's my hypothesis. I was talking to Derek about that the other day. I think that's how they will either balance or shake things up. Like detachments will change dispositions. Derek is a guy I met at a local store, told me about the channel. Yeah, dude, Derek's awesome, man. He's definitely my best friend that I've had outside of like the military and like law enforcement and stuff. So I really appreciate that relationship. I've been painting terrain for my home battle table. I took a break from that to build Jeff for my log. I actually got the snot goblin terrain. I was just tired of painting terrain. Plus, it's like giant Legos, so it was like easy to transition from 10th edition to 11th. Whoever asked me about getting into streaming and painting, I was actually just thinking about this. Like, figure out it really helps if you have someone there to help you, but like, figure out what position you like to be in that is optimal for painting. Like where you like to sit, where do you put your wrists, where do you put your hands and shit like that, and then finagle the camera around. So like Derek came over and he was helping me with all that. Because like originally, I mean, even right now, it's not optimal. I kind of want to move where my camera is, um, because I'm left-handed, but I paint right-handed. But right now my palette's on the other side, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Like I said, if you saw what my station looks like right now, it's a disaster. There's cables fucking all over the place. There's arms and lights, and it is just not optimal. So like that whole thing is a learning process in itself. What like where do I put my shit? So yeah, my plan is to go through each disposition. And I finished 10th edition with Hammer of Averni, so I just started 11th edition with them. So that's why I'm just starting with priority assets, but I'm gonna play them all. I was thinking about playing Salamanders for Purge, dude. They have some them and Librarius. I think I have Librarius Conclave in my hammer list, dude. It's just the enhancement for advance and charge, and then the crit fives. Dude with Stern Guard is just fucking so good. And I was actually thinking about this. You don't even need to change your uh your psychic power because, well, if you have the CP, um you can just pay the 1 CP to get sustained anyway with the Stern Guard with Hammer. Um Dude, and 7-inch moving Terminators is just fucking awesome. I really like the advance in charge and the fallback in charge. I have that issue. My hobby room is a wreck right now. Yeah. World Eater Orcs have been my main armies. Tactical Tortoise featured. Yeah, dude. I listened to that um every week. That's kind of my Monday ritual is Tactical Tortoise, like in the morning driving to work or whatever. I did see that. It was an interesting list. Although I'm really happy that guy won. That's awesome. But this is just me, man. You have to also take into account like where was the GT, um, and also like who else was playing. So I take in terms of the armies that I'm currently playing, I take that with a grain of salt. So like if it's an army I'm playing and someone does really well, I'm not just going to look at the list. I'm also going to look at the GT, like who they played, who was all there, what were the matchups, because all that stuff is super relevant. It was an interesting list though. I'm definitely on the speeder train. I want to get another one. I'm actually wondering if that's going to go up in points. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up from 95, to be honest. No, it was Hammer and Librarius. He had so his shooting package was only 2 Predator Destructors. He ran 20 Terminators. The Librarian didn't have advance in charge though. He put Steel Font on that dude, the bodyguard enhancement, and he had double speeder, um I think incursors and infiltrators, of course combi lieutenant. um do you have thoughts on the Stampa in 11th edition? Honestly, that's a Derek question, dude. um in my opinion, man, I think edition changes, like, just build everything. um I'm not sure. I'll tell you the list I'm running tomorrow. Yeah, this is it. So, of course, Canic Bar, Librarian with the Fusillade, the Crit 5's enhancement, then the Terminator Librarian with Celerity. Celerity. That sounds right. Lieutenant, JPI, Infiltrator Squad, the one Land Speeder, because I only have one, Double Scouts, 10 Stern Guard, the Hammer Strike, speeder, and then a 10-man squad with 3 lightning claws because that's at 345. Then just a 5-man with all thunder hammers, the 5-mans with Canic Bar, and then 2 vindicators. That's what I'm going to test tomorrow. So we'll see. Working on my T-Sun's army. I'm very interested in playing with them. Dude, T-Sun's is on a rip right now, man. They're doing really well. Stampa's gonna dread mob. Go listen to Walk Tactics talk about it. I mean, if everyone's saying it's good, it probably is good, man. The thing too is like in like lists or like good units and stuff like that. Now, yes, there are going to be some units that like they're just great across the board. Um, but in my opinion, a lot of the times it's the synergies and like what role does the unit have. I'm not a huge fan of just like, oh, that list is great. Um, if I see a list that does well, I'll use it as a template and then throw my own spin on it. Not that I think I'm better, but it's just sometimes it's hard to know. Of course, like test it, but it's hard to know like what the synergies are. If you can watch a video, that's great. Like Liam VSL is a great example. If you don't know who he is, I mean, hands down, like the best 40k player in the world. Um, he was running a pretty crazy veterans of the Long War army. He crushed London Grand Tournament with it, and then he also took it to the teams event. And I mean, dude, he just crushed it there as well. But the caveat is now this is more 10th edition specific, but playing on the UKTC circuit at the time, like they played different terrain. They didn't play GW terrain. So those armies were built specifically for those terrain layouts. And this is just me. I ran it a couple times. I just didn't like it on GW terrain. So that's the point I'm making is like you have to take into account who the pilot is, what's the terrain layout, and then also who are they playing, and then also is it teams or singles. But I mean, again, Liam is literally the best. um he took that list to teams. People were saying it wasn't going to do well, and he still freaking played awesome. And it was nice to see his streams too, because then you can see how he runs it. But then like you'll notice like just with different terrain format, like it can change where you deploy, where you position, where you stage, and sometimes it's just not feasible. Like that army on layout like 2 or 6 GW would have been fucking awful. Problem with net listing is you can run the list. That doesn't mean you. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's essentially the point I'm making. Stomp a competitive, not really, but it's best. I mean, dude, play what you think is cool. Try to make it work. What's up, Pete? Oh, dude, your AC went out? Oh, goodness. Yeah, dude, there's supposed to be a heat wave coming up, man. Well, I hope you get it fixed. What disposition are you going to use? I'm currently using I'm starting with priority assets. And then I think I'm going to go to reconnaissance after that. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, Justin, definitely agree. Pete, did you make any changes to your list that you sent me? And if not, do you mind if I share it here? Yep. Yeah, it had 20. Yeah, we talked about it. Hope you're not in the South, Pete. No, but dude, it's still a heat. I mean, dude, 100 degrees is 100 degrees. Albeit the humidity in the South is really brutal. In the 90s in the ATL area. Yeah. Yep. Dude, it was I'm up in Jersey, dude. It was hot as shit today. Actually, Justin, there's another good orcs channel. Happy Crumpin. That guy's great as well. If you're looking for other good orc stuff. I think he just went 5-0. Did you play in teams with Derek? Yes, I did. And I tell you what, I was by far the worst player on the team. That was also our first teams tournament. Three of the guys we had kind of like a mercenary team. So we had Sasha from Art of War and Mike Butler, and then we had Brian Zoo from Cuddle Buddies. And dude, we ended up pairing into Team Nemesis. They ended up winning. We got them round one, dude. And that was rough. And then we won our second round, and then but dude, like if you haven't played teams before, man, it's what everyone says. It's so much better than singles. because everything's just about the team. You're just constantly strategizing, not just about what you're gonna do, but like how pairings are gonna go. And then our day two went really well. I think we also figured out like how we wanted to run our team. Um, and dude, it's just the best when like you get a matchup that you want on a layout that you want as well. It just makes such a difference. But yeah, that was a freaking awesome weekend. I think we came in sixth. They called it round five. Everyone was just like, "Yo, we're done with 10th edition. Let's just fucking go home early." So that was kind of a bummer. But I mean, Nemesis, they were 5-0. So all right, Pete, what are you on right now? Um, Mechanic Var with 5 Terminators, Librarian, Fusillade, yep, with Stern Guard 10, yep. Terminator, Librarian with Celerity with 5, Combi Lieutenant, Intercessors. Oh, I think this is the same list you sent me before. Double Intercessors and Cursors, Lanes. Oh, no, you changed it up. Double Intercessors, sorry, double JPI and Cursors, double Land Speeder, double Repulsor Executioner. Okay, and a Scout Squad. Have you played it yet? 12 units. Yeah, this looks good, man. Oh, was he? That makes sense. I'll be honest. I just saw the Iron Hands. I just went straight to that, and then I listened to another podcast this morning. My team had a few mercs that played on the team with Folger. They both drew Nemesis and Jack's Harper team for. They got fourth. At oh, gotcha. Yeah, Nemesis was on a rip, dude. ATC A-man teams. Was that was that was 11th edition, right? I think I watched some of that stream. Wasn't Joe filming it from War Games? Um Nemesis is good. But I also think um so for us specifically, I think if we had done the pairings differently, it definitely would have I think we would have done a little bit better. And we talked about that afterwards. Like the decision to put the Drakari matchup, I we all agreed like probably wasn't the best idea. Because ultimately it turned into like who went first, and the other guy went first. And like I didn't say anything just because this is my first teams event. They were like, "How are you in a recon guard?" I'm like, "Fucking not good, dude." And so when we were talking about it afterwards, I was like, "Hey, look, like I think when we have situations like that, it's not just to me, it was a little bit more about just the matchup. 'Cause to me, I think that the player is important as well. Like you can have an unfavorable matchup with a weaker player and do well. Um, so I think it's a combination of that too. So like in between rounds for the rest of the tournament, we were also looking up just to get a general idea of player skill, and then also taking that into consideration for like who was going to be attacker defender. But yeah, I mean, dude, Malachi's good, and he was running T Suns. Josh Campbell, he's really good. Uh, the guard player I played, Travis Jones, I think is his name. He's really good. Like our best player went into one of their worst players, and I think I should have taken that matchup. It was also into Votan, and he was playing double defiler Abaddon impact bound, and Votan just can't handle that. First defender going first is huge. Tau purge infiltrating is insane. Yeah, dude. You get a storm surge in their deployment. Go full. Yeah, agreed. But I mean, dude, Pete, you're way more experienced in teams than me. But it was like we talked about. I mean, my role in the team ended up being the grenade guy. So you know, my role is to take off an unfavorable matchup or mission to free up the other guys. So like the way it worked out, for an example, they didn't want I think it was round 4, we had 2 knight players, and just the way it worked out, we didn't want uh our Drakari guy to go into that. So I ended up taking Purge against World Eaters. I was able to pick an open map, which was good. Uh, but also like he wasn't like a super competitive like player either. Um, so like that was definitely like a huge advantage for me. And again, that's when I started thinking. I was like, okay, it's in my opinion, my limited experience, like it's not just the matchup, it's not just the mission, like who's the pilot, I think is also important. Grenade guy's my favorite role on a Rocky mode. Yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't like upset at the role that my experience kind of turned it into, which was fine. It's nice when you can pull out a 20-0. But see, the other thing is like understanding that if you're the grenade guy, you scoring 5 points like is doing your job on the team. And you said that to me like 5 times, but it's like different once you're like in the tournament and you're like, oh, okay. Like there were a bunch of times where I was like, okay, this is what Pete was talking about. And then it's the worst when your coach comes by, he's like, hey, how's it going? And you're like, dude, I am not on Matrix. I'm getting my ass beat right now. I actually had, man, I was actually pretty upset with myself. Round four, no, it was round five, and I was going into CSM, and it was pack bound, and they put me into him simply because I had played it in practice, and I played against it multiple times, so uh, I felt confident going in there. I looked up the player. I was like, okay, like I feel pretty good about this. And dude, I was in like a great position. Move blocked his defiler. He actually had to move him backwards. Um, so that was good. And then I made the play to crush his flank, and everything was going pretty well in the shooting phase. And then I killed my original oath target, and then I retargeted the defiler. Terminators got all up in there, and dude, I fucked up the second half of my firing sequence. Like I thought the Terminators would be able to one shot this dude, but the problem is he was screening him with a venom crawler right in front. And I was like, oh, dude, a fucking Vindicator and a Hammer Strike or Hammer Storm speeder totally nuke this guy and then just move in to get all 10 Terminators in, like 12. And dude, he put the -1 to hit on the Venom Crawler, and I retargeted Oath to the Defiler, and I mean, now we're already in the sequence, right? So the Vindicator and the Speeder totally shit the bed. Didn't kill the Venom Crawler. He just made enough 5-ups. I think he was left on like 2 wounds or something dumb. And then when my Terminators charged in, they got a low charge. I didn't want to spend the CP because um, I wanted to make sure I had it for the, the defensive strats on the counterattack. And dude left the defiler on like 2 wounds, so like didn't do anything that I set out to do. And what I should have done was still re-oath the defiler, and I should have just kept hammering away with the Vindicator and the speeder, because it wouldn't have had the -1 to hit, would have had oath. And if they didn't kill it, then certainly, you know, it would have been a better sequencing. What was your take on Terminator Ancient? They're not the same. Yeah. So the yeah, what Pete's literally gonna say what my thoughts are on it too. Yeah, I was in the same boat. Um, I mean, dude, it's still great. Like it's not a bad combo, but the thing is, like now the primary has changed, and so essentially, like playing priority targets, priority assets, you need to be ready to do up to like 3 actions in a turn, plus doing like all your other shit. So I'm kind of in the same boat as well. Uh, and then the other thing is like having advance and charge just almost makes up for the lack of steel font. Um, just plus, dude, 7-inch moving terminators is just 7-inch advance and charge and fallback and charge is just so fucking good. Because that was the thing that sucked with Hammer of Averni before, where let's just say you're going in, you're trying to crack a hard target and it just doesn't go your way. And dude, they're fucking just stuck there. And not having fallback and do anything was just really not not a good place you wanted to be. So it's like you had to guarantee the kill plus like dude, it's like a fucking 500 point unit. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna send this dude to like crush a flank. So you're already dedicating minimum, over 500 points to go, deal with that. Um, and then like in the example I just gave you, like you mess up like a shooting sequence, and then it just doesn't happen, and now your guys are just sitting ducks. Um, they get 2 rounds of combat into you before you get to fight again. Um, so I'd rather have more units and mobility. Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Uh, what was that charge distance, Justin? Because I mean, dude, if it was a 6 or a 7, you're gonna do that every single time. Like that's not a bad play. Um, just that shit happens sometimes. Whenever I fail a rerollable 6 or 7 inch charge, I think of the time when I'm just like walking on a street and there's no cracks or bumps or anything, and you still trip over your feet. That's what failing a rerollable charge feels like in my head. So the other thing I was thinking about is if you needed to, not optimal, but I mean, I would say it's acceptable, but like, dude, that Terminator with the +2 movement. Wait a second. Never mind. For some reason in my head, I thought it was +2 movement on the charge. It's not. It's just +2 movement to the characteristic. I've been finding. Have you been finding that even a 10-man Termini unit gets dunked at the moment? Um, no, I think. I mean, I think still with -1 damage and armor contempt, like you're still that unit's still just taking such a hit. But like I said, the difference now is I would rather have fallback and charge than heal a guy. So like plus I mean it was the same reason I was running them before. I just bought these dudes. I painted them. I'm fucking playing them. 9-inch with the +1, and I rolled 7 or less each time. Yeah, dude, 8 is when it starts getting risky, in my opinion. Like, I'm not even planning on doing an 8-inch charge unless it's like I'm gonna lose the game if this doesn't happen. But if I can avoid that, then I'm just not gonna do it. That was the other thing that I realized, like, having variance and ambiguity in terms of D6, advance and charge, just it changes how your opponent approaches dealing with you. And when you don't have that ambiguity, like, you can become very predictable. And again, in my opinion, against players that are at your level and above, if you're that predictable, I think it just hamstrings you. Having at least one advance and charge unit makes such a difference in how your opponents treat you, in terms of what risk they're willing to take, in terms of how close are they willing to stage. Um, you know, I want to know where you got 2 speeders from. I was thinking about that today when I was driving past the game store from work. I was like, man, I would totally go buy a second speeder right now if it was out. Have you seen any impact? Oh my god, dude, yes. You know, almost to the point where Pete's gonna say I'm crazy. I have been considering a chaplain for 60 points. I tried him attached to a unit, dude. Those, I think he was with assault intercessors. They fucking died due to um one exalted 8-bound fighting on death, which that was annoying. But dude, if you're playing an army that has heavy battle shock mechanics, yeah, you can be totally fucked. And I mean, we're just gonna have to see like how the meta shakes out. I mean, I know Tyranids are doing really well right now, and I think that's probably a big reason why. Having to constantly roll battle shocks at -1, dude. I was, in a game against Derek, I was battle shocked half the fucking game, dude. Couldn't do shit. Um, oh, you bought 2 boxes? Hell yeah, nice, dude. So yeah, I've been thinking about bringing that chaplain literally to have the ability to unbattle shock someone at the beginning of any phase. So that could be really, really important for not just primary, but stratagems, and just not getting fucking wrecked with having to desperate and shit like that. But yeah, getting battle shocked is like a real fucking thing in 11th edition. I've lost both 11th edition games I played so far, but I know part of it is due to operator error, misplay. I've been trying to make a triple one DP detachment World Agers list work. What are they? I'll be honest, I don't even know. The only World Eater stuff I've been seeing, I played Berserker Warband the other day. And same dude's coming over tomorrow. I'm not sure what he's trying. And then I saw the what's his name? The Blood for the Blog God dude. He's running 30 World Eater Terminators. So I'm not familiar with the 1 DP detachments. But dude, you also said something important, man. Like the secondaries are a little bit different now, and a lot of them are friggin' easy if you just know how to plan for them. So I can totally see you losing games because you just didn't think to stage units in certain places because just not familiar with all the secondaries right now. That's entirely possible. Okay, it's nice to have super good enhancement. It allows War Dogs and Battle Shock units. Oh, man, that's so annoying. Tyranids can make you up to 4. Did they I know it was like this in 10th edition. Is there a cap on Battle Shock in 11th? But dude, if your leadership -4, gosh, that's just dumb. Butchers of Corn, the Terminator Detachment, Brazen Idols, Demon Engine, Vessels of Wrath. I actually lost my last 5 40k games. Leadership 9 is the worst you can get. Got it. Yeah, that's still not optimal. I mean, look, I'll be honest, man. I lose way more practice games than I do in tournament. So I mean, I wouldn't define success based off of winning and losing. Uh, so I don't know. I mean, plus like we're testing everything right now. Like I take with a grain of salt, like the guys that are going 5-0 right now and stuff like that. It's like, dude, it's entirely possible that multiple people you played just literally have no idea what they're doing with the primaries and the secondaries. And maybe your detachment's a little bit easier in term, or it just for you as an individual. I'm not saying easier just as a general statement. I'm saying like easier for you to understand, play, and execute. I mean, that's a huge difference in winning a game and losing a game. Like the one dude I 20-0'd at the teams tournament playing Purge against World Eaters, like that's by all accounts, like he should have won. If we're just talking about like lists and stuff and mission. And but the thing is, like he didn't know how to excuse me, he didn't know how to play Purge. So like when I had to screen for his other Berserker brick coming in, I was like, okay, I'm sacrificing 2 units right now. That means I need to kill 3. to, at least force the score to stay even for, for that. So, and he didn't really and he told me afterwards, he was like, dude, you're like counting kills and you're making plans on when to expose or whatever based off of how many units you need to kill versus how many units that I could kill. He's like, I just didn't really know how to play Purge. I mean, does that make me a better player? I mean, I would say not necessarily. I just knew the mission parameters better. So last turn I went 2-1. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I think that's great. 2-1 ain't bad at all. You can force test. In fact, I tested out the Stupid Reaver. Yo, what'd you think of the Reavers, man? Look, the problem with the Reavers right off the bat is like they have to be in melee. Whereas like I think Raptors, you just need to be within 6 inches. So I don't know. I don't know about Reavers. But what'd you think? I bought a box, to be honest. It's an aura. I thought they have to be in melee. Did I read that wrong? Now you're making me feel crazy. I gotta look this shit up. Because I've been looking at them quite a bit. Yeah, so the aura is oh, okay. You're talking about the -1 OC, excluding monsters and vehicles. And then 6 if you have the dude with the okay, yeah, I know what you're saying about that. I thought you were talking about forcing battle shocks, which they have to be in engagement range, and they subtract 1. Which, I mean, they have to be charging in with something else. The OC is the aura. Right. All right, my bad. I'll be honest. I would. I thought we were talking about the battle shock. I was looking at the OC. I was just like, eh. I mean, I think that would be better in something where you can uppy downy and have reactive moves. Anyone tried the new Eradicators Heavy Bolters? I have not. I need to build them. Aren't they only 3-mans? These are Stern Guard, Pete. Nice. I like these guns. Where'd you get these guns? They look like from Halo or something. I love how you have the 30K shit. Looks good. Let me look at these. Working on converting some old models for my stern guard from 8 years. They can go to 6. I mean, it's 70 points. That's not bad. Although, yeah, I mean they're not bad. I think I would definitely want assault on them. T6 3 wounds. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, for my purge disposition, I'm thinking about salamanders. I gotta build fucking 10 Infernus Marines. So the Christmas that Lieutenant Titus came out was around when Space Marine 2 came out. So, me and the boys, my kids, we've, been playing that. And then when the Titus model came out, of course, all three of them were like, dude, like we want that. And so I went to the store and I only found one single Titus, Lieutenant Titus model. And I was like, well, I can't get one of the fucking kids it and not the others. And they only had the starter set. So I ended up buying two of those starter sets. So I've got a ton of those Infernus Marines. I think they're still in the box. But my kids got their stupid Titus models. Yeah. They're they're AP1, which AP1's good now. Um, dude, I want to try um either I have to see, but I want to try White Scars with the speeder detachment. I also want to try Shadow Mark Talon with the speeder detachment as well. I think that'd be fun. Oh man. All right, last fucking Stern Guard. This is my least favorite part about painting, just the stupid fucking 3 base colors. Actually, you know what, Justin? Since you hung out all night, I'll show you how to do how I do the highlights on the bases. I can knock out one of those. That's quick. Space Marine getting new bikes. Yeah, I saw that. I Someone was saying, who was I listening to? They were like, dude, did they just forget to put those out during 10th edition? They're like, oh, they have a Thunderhammer. I think he hits on 4s though. Thunderhammer's hitting on 4s is not great. Yeah, it's gross, dude. I mean, I think for the points, like they're a good, light chaff unit, 2OC. I want CSM to get new friggin' bikes, dude. CSM bikes are fucking awesome. I love those units. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Of course we're gonna play Halo Campaign Evolved. I use Cork for 90. Yeah, same dude. Here. Yeah, dude. Super fucking stoked for the new Halo. I like also that it's 4-player co-op. Honestly, most of the video games I play nowadays, it's just with me and my 3 kids, and if it's not 4-player co-op, then we usually will play something else. Although I got my middle son on Metro, the 2033 game. That game's fucking great. As maybe the Outriders will get better rules with the Codex. Yeah, we'll see. Back at the end of 7th, when they had CSM Trader Legions, I converted 10 bikes for each god except for Zinj. Dang, dude. That's a lot of bikes. All right. Yeah, so for the I'll use this because it's huge. I'm actually gonna grab a drink. I'll be back. Yeah, really excited for Halo. Um, dude, that's been one of the cool things I've done with my kids. Played through all the campaigns co-op with all three of them from start to finish. That's always been good. The setting for Metro 2033 is yeah, it's I couldn't get into the books though. But yeah, the games are great. All right, so I'm just gonna knock this out real quick, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So I base with iron crust, the technical paint, and then I will highlight or do like the dust effect with iron earth, and then I'll highlight with Lugganath orange. So I think I'm gonna do this the bottom of the skids here. Don't yeah. So we'll just knock out the skids. I don't want to darken them though. You know what? I will just lighten them. Yeah, let's do that. It's a lot of bikes, man. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just putting on some like really bright steel. It just makes the dust effect highlight look better in my opinion. All right. Yep. So we'll use the iron earth. I don't have a dry palette. I just use a paper towel. Nice, Pete. Are those 3D prints the closed hatches on it? Second time I caught your vid. Thanks for hanging out. No, thank you for hanging out, man. I'll do this on the dude's feet as well. I don't know if you watch Hellstorm Wargaming, the British dude Mikey. He did a pretty good Armageddon kit bash video. But he was saying put a regular stand on the speeder. I didn't think this stand was that bad, so I was like, fuck it. I don't have any acrylic poles right now, so I'll just use this until it breaks. But I think it's pretty good. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, now my favorite part is this Lugganath orange. I also made 2 Corn Lords jugs using Berserker Possessed, Neurolord. That sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, kit bashing is always fun. I think I need a new one of these. Yeah, the nice thing I like about this technique is you don't need to wash the base coat first, which is nice. Start with darken out color. You can dry brush, highlight, skip washes. Yep. Good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, dudes. And I'm going to bed. See you in the next one. Later.